All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for joining. I'm sorry for the hiatus again. Life gets in the way, and so does my health, but we are back, and I appreciate everyone for being here. Thank you for stopping in. We are back today with Blueprints, and I feel like it's been quite a few days since the last time we played. Last time, I don't remember what happened last time, but that's okay. We're going to just do a little ad break first and foremost. I'm sorry I'm a little rusty and a little out of it because I didn't wake up all that long ago, but I'm going to run the ads. If you're not interested in hearing them, please skip ahead for about 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Or if you're more of a video scrubber, go ahead and skip ahead until this GIF goes down. So please be patient and thank you for it. There we go. So the ads have started. This is something that if you haven't watched one of my videos before, I do at the beginning of every stream just to make sure that nobody who wants to join live has to end up suffering through missing part of the stream while I'm forced to run ads thanks to Twitch. So instead, I run this 3-minute block at the start, and then nobody has to put up with them for about an hour. Yeah, for about an hour. And hopefully people tell me so I can take another little break when they come on again. And here is Doug very rightly saying, ads in the meantime. But, that being said, thank you for joining again. If you're watching this on YouTube, then I would very much appreciate a subscription. It does help out a lot. And if you like this kind of long-form replay content, where it's just the Twitch live stream so you can catch up if you've missed, or if you'd like a sleep aid of some sort, I do try very hard to keep it relaxing, peaceful, and cough-free, although the last part I can't really guarantee. More importantly than that, I do this for fun, so if you want to join on Twitch and hang out with me live, I would love that. I enjoy having friends here as much as possible to hang out with, joke with, and your presence would be greatly appreciated. So feel free to drop me a follow if you're watching here. If not, feel free to come over and join me. There should be a link in the YouTube bio to get here. And if you're finding difficulty finding me online, by all means, go ahead and click the Discord button. It should be in the bio for either Twitch or YouTube. And as long as you're already signed into Discord, that'll take you directly to my server, where there's a backup of alerts for whenever I upload a new video to YouTube, or more importantly, go live. On top of that, there's also a bunch of channels that give you some more control over the stream. If you have suggestions, feedback, if you want to keep tabs on what my current game list is and have me prioritize something, that's an excellent way to let me know if you'd like to do that. Excuse me. Let's see. Also, we did just recently update the bits and subs goal on Twitch because we got through the Steam Autumn sale. So the current goal is Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, I believe. If you'd like to come hang out and contribute to that, you're more than welcome to. Otherwise, I'll be aiming to pick it up at the next Steam sale, but I'm not sure how many months away that is. Anyway, that's the end of the ads, so thank you very much, everyone. Welcome back. I'm sorry for the wait. Hiya, Doug. How you doing? Oh, I gotta take this down. There we go. I know you're screaming, ads, but you've been freed. Hooray! Alright. It's nice to see you again. Hadn't heard from you in a couple days. I'm glad you're alive and well, and freed from the ads. How are you doing today? Oh, no need to apologize. You're just here so frequently that when you're not, it's like, oh, I hope Doug's okay. just like everyone who comes to hang out, your presence is missed, and I hope that you're well when you're not here. Doing pretty well. Stayed home because you were sick. Oh, you stayed home today because you were sick? I would consider that the opposite of doing pretty well, but hopefully you feel better soon. Damn. Hopefully it is not enough to keep you down for too long then. Being sick is awful. Yeah, I'm curious about this one. My nieces and nephew don't have school lately. There's apparently a teacher strike going on. Ah, yeah, that's fine. That is absolutely fair. What in the... Well, I'm glad you're feeling okay, aside from being a snotty mess. Being sick is no fun at all. Making an offering of yourself. A beneficial blessing that will last for several days. Oh, wow, okay. Where's my allowance tokens? I'm doing alright. It's not the best, but I mean, I did manage to get some sleep last night, which was very welcome. It's, it's always a little rough around the season change time of year. Unfortunately, the, going from summer to fall and fall to winter especially is a little hard. Hey, welcome back, Waylord. Thank you for joining. How you doing? But yeah, I'm doing okay aside from the usual problems. Oh, nice. Well, congratulations, Doug. I'm glad you're making friends as it goes. Oh, here's my allowance. Yay. So what's this new manga that you're reading? Yeah, so I just started Waylord, and I went out and popped the Shrine as my outer room. Gachiyakuta. I haven't heard of it, but is it good? Cool, cool. Let's do green room. Let's see if we can do that. Because I don't have a sledgehammer or anything right now, so I don't need more chests at the moment. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Parlor. Let's see what we got here. The first logic puzzle of the day. I have been awake for less than an hour. Let's see how this goes. Gems are on the floor. That's a lie. Gems are in this box. Don't know. Gems are on the desk. That is probably a lie. Which means white. Is that the manga / animated GIFs you were posting today, Doug? Because I hadn't seen those ones before, but they were fairly unnerving. They must have given me a really easy one this time. Gotcha, gotcha. Bedroom, guest room, nursery. Nice. Nothing wrong with that. Ooh, money. I don't know. I wonder all the time if I'm weird for not having a meme folder. But I hear lots of times people are like, yeah, you want to see my meme folder? And then it's like 12,000 reaction images. I just remember ones that I want to use and go look for them online. Which takes a while, but I don't think I'm organized enough to have a meme folder, if I'm being honest. I try to be, but I really feel like I would just end up having a clutter of A-1, A-2. No real organization when it comes to that thing. I'd still just be searching through for an hour and wondering why I can't find the one GIF I'm looking for. Well, these options kind of suck. Okay, well, we're going to do the commissary then, because I have gems. And I love memes because it helps me express emotions through text, because feelings can be misinterpreted through text. That is fair. I have unfortunately run into the situation several times where I need to, like, spend a significant amount of time clarifying what I meant so that people don't misunderstand. Alright. Commissary. Metal detector, sleeping mask, shovel, salt shaker. So I looked at these in the trading post the other day, and I remember the salt shaker gives an extra step whenever you eat something, which is not all that helpful because I don't find a lot of food. Well, that's true, Doug. Memes can show things that you like. I just use them as hilarious references. If the situation calls for it, I'll still use a rage face from like 15 years ago. Thankfully, mercifully, not many situations call for that. It shows that I'm old is what it shows. Alright, let's see here. Passageway for 2. Corridor always left unlocked. I see that you're a man of culture as well. Okay, I'm gonna do passageway just because I need to start going north.
Thank you!
Oh, Doug, I hope that was a sarcastic thank you, because I don't know if you recognize that particular meme. That is fine. You are welcome to use that whenever you'd like. Doug, did you see my new meme as well? Or my new channel point reward as well? The little 1 token one for if I'm not seeing your messages? I still have a gem. I'll go in the drawing room. That it is, yes.
Hey, listen!
I thought that was cute. His 1 channel point and he just, it's Navi. I even added a little fairy gif to it. Hopefully that went off. I can't see it on my screen. I know Brainer was telling me there is a way to see it on his screen, but I need to upgrade my computer more for that. Let's see. Nook, pantry, storeroom. Yeah, right? I think I'll do the Nook this time. I still need more. Oh, wait, I could get something from... I'm going to go with the pantry, and I'm going to go to the commissary and pick up the metal detector. Because that will get me more keys automatically. Awesome! I'm glad you saw that show up. It was hard to find a decent one there. I know most people hate Navi, so... yeah, I'm glad it's going over well. Oh no, I'm still one short from the metal detector. Lame. Okay, well, we'll take the... I might wait. I'll throw everything into blessings after. Yeah! I keep saying this, but I still want to get a... You know what? That'll do. I still want to get a... Whatchamacallit? A capture card. So I can play some of the old games that I have, including Zelda's. Everybody has a Zelda game that they're nostalgic for. It wouldn't be surprising for me to say my nostalgic one is A Link to the Past, but I didn't have any consoles at the time that was big, so I can't say that. That's the one, yep. Ocarina of Time was my first Zelda game as well. Like the first real one. Okay, nothing in particular in here. So that one's always got a special place in my heart. Alright. We'll go this way then. Is this? Nothing, it's fine. Oh no, I guess I have to do this one. Oh yeah? I was so into it, I was deeply disappointed you couldn't get the Triforce. The main village? You mean do you mean Kakariko village or the forest village? Because they technically both count. Oh, okay. I guess maybe the den? Yeah, let's do the den, because that'll take me north. Get the gem. For a long time, I don't think I still could, but I remember the path through the Lost Woods just by memory. You do that enough times, you get lost enough times, and eventually it embeds itself so deep in your subconscious that it's just more difficult to forget. Let's do courtyard, because I want to go up that way. Ooh, shovel. I'm glad I didn't buy one. I can dig it. And I don't think this consumes energy. Good. Haha. Silver key. Okay. Which means I should probably do the foyer at some point if I can find it. Well, that one's easy, because if you go the wrong direction, it just takes you back to the beginning. So you have a 60% chance, if you don't realize where you're going, which way is wrong. Alright, I guess we'll keep going north for now. And... Do I want to try for the chapel or the nook? That's a good question. Because I know I don't want the guest bedroom. I don't really want to burn the gold in the chapel. The nook is free and gives me a key though, so maybe we'll go this way. Because I want to see if that... Ooh, coupon book. That's handy. I want to see if the elevator to the dungeon is still down. It is! Oh, nice. That's a permanent change. Okay. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. I mean, it's not helpful right now, but it is cool. Let's use... Oh, the door's locked. Let's try that one then. Because I don't think there's a reason to go down without the basement key. The furnace room will increase red rooms. But I don't need that quite yet. Walk-in closet? I've never seen the walk-in closet before. Oh. No, not a problem. I need to think about what I'm doing here anyway, so that's absolutely fine by me. I'm going to do the walk-in closet. I probably shouldn't, but I've never drafted this room before. I need to see what's in here. Oh, I don't have gems. Okay. Ooh, there's a dig spot, though. More coins. Okay. I don't really like the fact that I got the furnace, but I think the boiler room might be a red room as well. So this mansion is really wanting to dead end me, like just in every opportunity that it has. And I don't like that. Let's use this key. Lavatory, gymnasium. Yep, we have been dead-ended. Oh no, I have one hallway I can still try. Okay, let's do the gym, because if I can get some power. Most likely. Rather than bendy, you might, if you've ever tried it, you might find it more akin to Borderlands. If you've ever seen anything for Borderlands, or if we're going even further back, there is a PS2 game as well. Actually, there's a couple of PS2 games with the same style. But I can see if bendy is the one that comes to your mind first, how that would be the most relatable. There were actually quite a few that use this style, and I really like it. I appreciate this sort of hand-drawn, animated type look. Of course, I don't have a gem. That is unfortunate. So I have indeed still dead-ended. God damn it. Okay, well. Open the guest bedroom. I'll come pick up his gem, which I could have used so many times. And I guess we'll go dump all of my coins. You have the art block? What do you mean by you have the art block? Oh, okay, got you. I got you. Okay, unfortunately we did indeed dead end here. So we're going to throw one coin into the fountain. Because I can only throw one per day. And I'm going to go throw the rest into the shrine. Have you talked to Na about art stuff at all? He's doing some really cool stuff with that charcoal in the art channel. Maybe you could talk about what he's working on as well and then figure some stuff out. Maybe take some inspiration yourself. Confirm. Yeah, he's pretty cool. Whenever you craft a mechanical room, trigger your experiment. I have not have not found the mechanical room. Oh, can I take these back? Oh, better not. Okay. You could try sketching just the initial idea, like whatever pieces would go together. So, like, is he wearing a bandolier or some torn cloth? If you think they should be working in conjunction, try sketching one at a time and see how they work. Like, individually, not trying to link them together. That might work to help get over the block. Okay, don't think there's anything else in here. And there's nothing down here, as far as I know, at least not yet. I think there will be eventually. There's just not at the moment. I would also like to find another way down into the mine, because there is apparently, or there are apparently, 2 more ways down, and I just haven't found them yet. Ah, yeah, that can happen. Well, I mean, that's why I'm saying if you're finding that you're feeling like that, maybe just sketch a single item and do it over and over until you have that single item looking how you like. At the very least, it will help with your experience in drawing shapes and hopefully blend you together. Or help you blend them together. That's the word I'm looking for. It really feels like there should be a way down here, and there's just not. Okay. Yeah, it's worth a shot. You may even find that as you're doing it, you find variations that you like more, or that could be simplified. I really want to brute force this, but I'm not going to. There must be a better way. I just haven't found the clue yet, but I really want to just hop this stupid fence. Watch it be written on the back. That's fair, that's fair. But you've seen my ability to brute force things, Waylord. You know I can potentially do things. I am more than happy to sit there and be an idiot for an hour. It's just very boring and I don't like doing it. We're going to call it a day because I am completely locked out. That's fair. Yeah, unfortunately, every option wanted to dead end me today. I had nothing I could do. Save and continue it is. I still want to find the mechanic room. The mechanical room? Because apparently I should be able to tinker and like build new devices and things. And I want to try that. It's just not showing up. I'm thinking maybe it's one of these outdoor rooms as opposed to one inside. I'm really not 100% sure on that. Alright, let's see here. Tool shed, trading post. Oh, the shelter. That's right. Because that means I can set the I can set the safe to be within my reach, like to open up for me, the time safe. Where is my, not Steam, Discord? Here we go. I gotta consult my notes for the calendar here. Information polls and feedback, blueprint, spoiler stuff. Here we go. That's for something else, but I forgot that I found that. Where's the calendar? Here we go. Okay, so it started on November 7th. That was day 1, which means on day 13, which I believe we're on, that's day 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13. So the 19th today. If I go down here, I can set the date to the 19th. Time lock safe. Unlock date. It's November, right? Yeah, November 19th at AM, let's say 9 AM. Must be at least 1 hour in advance. Oops. Confirm. Okay. So this should, I think, I'm pretty sure this will pop open this round now. I think. And what do you mean you forgot to ask, Doug? I don't get it. I know you were saying procrastinate with you, but I don't understand. Maybe I'll make that 10 just to be safe. $10 AM. There we go. Okay. Oh! I didn't hear it. That's interesting. Okay, what? Yeah, I didn't hear that at all today. How weird. Anyway, what did you want to hear me sing? Yeah, I can probably do that. Hold on one sec. I just want to get back to the mansion. Because there should be a clock over here. $12, $11, $10, $9. Yeah, okay, so I was right. I had to set it for 10 because 9 was less than an hour away. And is the game actually paused? It looks like. Okay, good, good. Let me bring up the lyrics real quick. Moana Shiny lyrics. All right. You ready? You ready there, Doug? All right. Here we go. Well, Tamatoa hasn't always been this glam. I was a drab little crab once. Now I know I can be happy as a clam because I'm beautiful, baby. Did your granny say, listen to your heart, be who you are on the inside? I need 3 words to tear her argument apart. Your granny lied. I'd rather be shiny, like a treasure from a sunken pirate wreck. Scrub the deck and make it look shiny. I will sparkle like a wealthy woman's neck. Just a sec. Don't you know? Fish are dumb, dumb, dumb. They chase anything that glitters. Beginners. Oh, and here they come, come, come to the brightest thing that glitters. Fish dinners. I just love free food, free food. You look like seafood, seafood. Hi, Mari. Well, well, well. Little Maui's having trouble with his look. You little demigod. Ouch, what a terrible performance. Get the hook, get it? You don't swing it like you used to, man. Yet I have to give you credit for my start and your tattoos on the outside. For just like you, I made myself a work of art. I'll never hide. I can't. I'm too shiny. Send your armies, but they'll never be enough. My shell's too tough. My way, man. You could try, but you can't expect a demigod to beat a decapod. Look it up. You will die. Now it's time for me to take apart your aching heart. Far from the ones who abandoned you, chasing the love of these humans who made you feel wanted. You tried to be tough, but your armor's just not hard enough. Maui, now it's time to kick your hiney. Ever seen someone so shiny? Soak it in, 'cause it's the last you'll ever see. C'est la vie, mon ami. I'm so shiny. Now I'll eat you, so prepare your final plea. Just for me. You'll never be quite as shiny. You wish you were nice and shiny. And then that's the end of the song. Hi, Mari. Thank you for joining. How you doing? Sorry, you came in just as Doug had requested that song. How are you doing today? It's so nice to see you. I'm sorry I keep wanting to stop in, but you're always playing scary games this month, and I don't do horror. I don't do horror well at all. Oh, it didn't actually freeze time. By jams, do you mean you were listening to what sounded like someone jamming their toe in a door? Because I get the feeling that's what my caterwauling is. Yeah. Yeah, I've been coughing a lot at night rather than during the day this time. See, you'll be surprised, Doug. I actually watched that music video again, like, a week ago, I think. So that was kind of brand new for me. It was still fresh in my head, and thank you very much, Mari. I didn't know you were such a liar, but you're good at it. Thank you for continuing with that. I'm not good at taking praise, okay? So I'm just, in case you're wondering why I'm not doing anything, I'm just kind of waiting for the last 40 in-game minutes. Okay, I'll do my best. It's really hard for me because, especially when it comes to my singing, with the years of coughing, I can tell my voice has changed, so it's hard for me to hit those notes that I want to hit now. And I'm also not singing in the key that I want to sing, so it's difficult. I would like to be more accepting of it. It's just tough. Not necessarily. It just coughing at night or coughing in morning doesn't really change much. It's not good or bad. It's just how it seems to roll. If I'm coughing at night, it means that I'm having trouble getting to sleep because it's keeping me up and I can't breathe while I'm trying to rest. And if I'm coughing during the day, that means my throat is a little bit more sore while I'm trying to stream. But it's still nice being able to talk again, so I appreciate it no matter what. It's just nice having that freedom and like an actual space to interact and use my voice. Well, thank you. I appreciate that greatly. It is nice to hear that you enjoy my caterwauling and speaking, or whatever the case may be. I recall, actually, I think it was Johnny Cash ended up with the same thing, where, was it Johnny Cash? It might have been. He went to an official like vocal coach because he wanted to learn how to sing better, and the vocal coach turned him away. He was like, "No, Johnny Cash." The vocal coach turned him away, at least from the story I heard, saying that his voice was so unique that he didn't want to ruin that by teaching him to sing properly. 12, 11, 10. Yes. Not Johnny Bravo, but I am well familiar with Johnny Bravo. I thought it was an excellently humorous show when I was young. Hey, baby, want to come back to my place and watch me flex? Alright, I'm going to head back down to... Anyway, how have you been, Mari? Like I said, I haven't been able to stop in much. I think I rated you once because you were on at the same time over the last while. But, I saw something about a goal to throw cake in your face. I think Jack posted that in a Discord. Ah, that is kind of a pain in the butt, yep. I can see how that would be a massive pain. I wondered why you were playing nothing but scary games lately. And I want to come hang out, but it's like, I am far too much of a coward to let that run. 100 subs and Eliza's going to throw cake in your face. Lovely. We're at 71. Damn, Mari, you're getting close. I've always wondered what it would be like to have cake thrown in my face. What? I can't help it. I don't like scary things, okay? Supernatural is super scary. Did you ever see that, it's a meme that's been going around. They pulled a prank on someone. Well, I just remember I saw they pulled a prank on someone on a talk show of some sort where they made her seat out of cake. That seemed like a tremendous waste, but also kind of hilarious. She sat down and instantly she recognized something was wrong and she just says, "Bitch, is this cake?" Ooh, it opened. Gem and... Ooh, is that a key? No, but it is a letter. Okay. Dear Uncle, the disappearance of my cousin Mary was long sat unfavorably with me and father. and I will freely admit to you that the chilly airs of indifference you may have felt to my presence can be attributed entirely to the suspicions that I have harbored for these past years, suspicions entirely aimed at yourself. And while I have never had the opportunity to prove it, I felt very strongly that you had some deeper involvement in those events 4 years ago. The circulating rumors of those months did nothing but further reinforce my convictions in this fact. I guess you can see she has a cake. Yes, you could say that. The lady that sat on the chair had enough cake to open her own bakery for the next century, we'll say that. Those of us that are once bitten are twice shy, and I am aware of the cost of my aggressively aloof behavior has had on the social standing of our family. I do not apologize for my actions, though I am now willing to admit that the conclusions I reached may have been flawed. So you should be apologizing for your actions. Last week, I had a confidential conversation with one of our mutual acquaintances, a conversation that has shed more light on this mystery than all of my father's countless fruitless inquiries over the years. I now have reason to believe that you were in fact responsible for smuggling my cousin under the cover of night across the red border to the southern seafront. And I believe this may have occurred in September, a full 7 months after she was reported missing, a date that coincides not with their public disappearance in February, but instead with the notable theft of the ruby crown. It is infectious. Puns are amazing. You think you hate them, but they are amazing, and you know it, and you love it. Speaking of, Mari, did you hear that a magician stole my dog the other day? He was trying to show me a trick and was like, abracalabrador, and then it just disappeared. If the Blackwater insurgents were in fact responsible for the heist, as some have claimed, I believe the scenario entirely plausible, and the fact that 2 of the crown's 8 rubies have now surfaced has given me renewed optimism that she's still alive, safe, and finally free. Perhaps my willingness to accept such a sensational story betrays... I missed you too, Mari. It's nice to see you again. A sensational story betrays my desperation. Desperation for answers, desperation for hope, and desperation for a narrative in which you are not the villain. In that distant land we all dream of, the land where the strangling crimson curtains draped across our sky are pulled back, and the windows and shutters of discontent flung wide open. In that distant land I pray one day to find our Marion safe, happy, and absolved. Alright, interesting. Friendship reunion indeed. Why is that? What is that? I would like to know, but it is not opening. Oh well, I found 2 of the letters. I think this was 7. Yeah, okay. I'm glad you liked that one. I thought it up yesterday. I sent it to my friend. He texted me. What did he text me? He texted me something silly. It was, oh, hold on. 4 cuts to it'll be something nice. Okay. Oh yeah, he said, I'm going to start teaching short people math because it's the little things in life that should count. And I thought up the magician stealing my dog joke after that. Okay, well, I will catch you next time, Mari. Thank you very much for stopping in. Yes. Mari, I don't know, I don't think you've joined my Discord at all. But if you want, there is a whole channel that's like Game with Valios, so we can organize... If there's a game you want to play, or that you have, or that I have that you want to play together, just let me know and we can figure it out. There's a full list of what I've got available. Even if Helldivers doesn't work for you, we can absolutely figure something out. Like even Supermarket Simulator just got the co-op release, so we could probably do that if you wanted to play that together too. Anyway, it should be just in the bio here. Let me see. Where is Twitch? Here we go. channel. I gotta mute this before you hear me double. There we go. Copy link address. Okay. There, that should do. Okay. Anyway, I will let you eat brunch, and thank you again for stopping in. I will talk to you later. Alright, if you're not sure about it, Doug, then it's okay to keep it to yourself. Yes, you have a good one as well. It was so nice seeing you again. Say hi to Eliza for me. I think it's hilarious every time she comes in. She's like, "Hi, hero!" Or that you ask her to say that. If you haven't met her, everyone, Mari Stellar is also an excellent streamer. Let me actually give you a shout out. Shout out. Mari Stellar. Is that at Mari Stellar? There we go. And she sometimes plays Lego games with her daughter, Eliza. And it's very fun watching Eliza just goof around while her mom's trying to get her to pay attention. I enjoy that greatly. It's very humorous to me. I'm not sure. Probably around 10 or 11. I would assume. I've never actually asked that question. There is the running joke that men are bad friends because we don't know anything about the people that we spend time with, but... Oh, excuse me. I don't has children here. Corridors always left alone. Let's do the den. I am the childless father. I am a card-carrying member of the Dad Club. Or actually, I'm an honorary member. I'll be a card-carrying member in 2 more sheds and a pair of khakis. Or was it 2 more khakis and a pair of sheds? I don't know. Let's see here. So courtyard will take me that way. It will still cut me off, though. I need to start getting north more. It counts as a half-child. Okay, if each one counts as a half-child, then I have 2. Oh, crap. Okay, we'll do the chapel. I don't really want to, but we will. I'm not going to go in quite yet. I do, yes. Yes, yes. I have 3 nieces and 1 nephew. Of course, you've met nephew, and we've talked about niece. But I do, in fact, have 2 more. Don't ask me their ages, because I couldn't tell you. I am not the world's greatest uncle. I'm not 100% sure. You know, I haven't played Animal Crossing in a while. I know you were freaked out for a second, like, you haven't played Animal Crossing? But no, I have. Just... Diamond. Okay. Where's that gem? I should have gotten a gem. Spinny. Wait, what's this? What is this? Is that a clock on the bottom? No, it's not. Bad and bald. How do you know that? Don't say that. No. Don't be right with a random guess. How rude. No, unfortunately, I am indeed fairly bald, as much as I hate to admit that. genetically, I have been losing my hair since I was about 19. And it is tremendously embarrassing, or it was for a long time. And then I met a friend who had some very sage advice. She told me that if you're going to be attractive to women, then you should either have hair or you should not have hair, because one thing that will make you less attractive is if you're hiding. Yes, I am. Hi, Nat. Welcome back. Thank you for joining.
Oh, hi there.
But we were just talking about how a friend of mine, she told me that the thing that will make me least attractive to women is if I'm bald and wearing a hat over it, because then it has the appearance of my having hair, and as soon as I take the hat off, it shatters that expectation, and then that just makes me less attractive by default. So if I choose to either have hair or to not have hair, and in this case I don't have a choice but to not have hair, it helps out. So I just started shaving my head to get rid of whatever was left. Very much so. And fortunately for me, I don't have a weird shaped head, so it actually doesn't look too bad for me to be bald. Let's do commissary? No, let's do closet. Ooh, that's a good find. Security key. I've heard that. I don't think I fit that look though. I've had this prank in my head for the last couple of days. I don't know. Well, I have facial hair. I have nice facial hair, but I shave it off whenever I have the energy to shave it off. Not that bald, no. But I have had this prank in mind for Halloween this year, because everybody wants to do something scary, right? But my thought is, what I'll do is I'll say, I have the scariest thing possible. Don't click this channel reward, or set it up so that people can donate for it or whatever. And then I'll just like flash my webcam on and off so that you see me for a second and be like, I'm the most horrible thing. Well, I don't actually celebrate Halloween. That's why I thought it was just going to be funny. Because, you know, everybody's going for like weird, spooky, demonic, supernatural bullcrap, and then here's me like, no, I'm the scariest thing. Yes, how about you, shushbot? But I did indeed ban him. Alright. Bunk room. When you have exactly 2 hallways, double your keys. Well, I do have exactly 2 hallways, but I don't want to dead end it. And I only have 1 key, so that's pretty dumb. You know what, Doug? I bet that Grim Curio would love to see that, because I think they said they did Plague Doctors as like their wedding photos or something. Yeah. Do you guys know why the old Plague Doctor masks used to look like that? Because I find it very interesting. Code check. Yeah, that long snout was actually used as a place for them to stuff flower petals and things. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's cool. Do I have anything in here? No item. Okay, good. You know, I've talked before about how I like the old superstitions and things, because a lot of the things that were carried along as superstitions about the supernatural were in fact just good medical advice disguised in ways that people would remember and would accidentally carry out even if they didn't know the reasons why. And you know, I talked about how like vampires' weaknesses were garlic and silver, and so it was antibacterial properties in both of those things, right? So they'd start using them both. Clock tower with one key for each. Okay, we're gonna do that one. I haven't drafted this yet. Yeah, so they use the superstitions to pass on that healthy knowledge. And why is this engraved in the floor? I'm very curious. I was playing Final Fantasy XIV the other day. I know, big surprise, right? And they actually included something very similar to that was really interesting to me, where this race of little fish people... Ah, I actually didn't know that, Doug. Doug said, fun fact, in the original Count Dracula book thingy, vampires don't burn in the sun. Their powers simply don't work in them. But in this game, these fish have had a revelation that they're going to die. Like, their entire species is going to be wiped out. And so to try and prevent that, this guy starts instituting a festival. He had a vision that they need to make a festival. And so quite accidentally, after you've progressed the storyline for them a little bit, it turns out that the sacrifices of fish that they were going to make turned out to be one of the things that saved them, because they're sacrificing large predatory fish from the river that would have eaten up their entire food supply within 7 years. And so they accidentally saved themselves by doing this particular routine. And I thought that was really cool, because that could also be a very realistic reason for certain types of festivals that exist in our world too. They don't understand why they're doing things, but they are doing them, and they help. Okay, what's this? Hold on. Southward I see a swan, ashen like sands of the shore, carried by westerly winds, rogue like the moon of the north. Eastward I see a crow, dark are the days coming forth. Okay. I will just kind of sit on... Okay. I'll sit tight for a few minutes. Thank you. Good time to stretch, actually. Oh, excuse me. You're not getting an ad yet? That's surprising. It's telling me there should be 1 minute and 45 seconds left in there. Do you still have a sub, maybe? Because I have 2 subscribers, apparently, and I don't remember who those subs are. I think one of them might be Brad. Huh. Oh no, the other woman is Brainer. Okay. I know that not long ago there was a huge ad revenue exodus from Twitch because of some things that were going on with some of the big name streamers. So it's possible that some of the ads aren't targeted towards you, and so you're just not seeing them. Also, unfortunately, I got a text message earlier that there are going to be a little bit of sawing sounds outside, and hopefully that should be the last of the work that'll be getting done out there for the year. I just wish that it could have waited until a better time. But it happens. There's nothing I can do about that. And unfortunately, I just heard it going off. Yeah. Oh, it's very bad. It's happening right near my window, and I'm just hearing the saws going off. And eventually I'll hear... Yeah, it seems so annoying. Eventually I'll probably hear more pounding on the walls. I'm glad you guys can't hear it, but for me it's very hard to focus on anything. Which, if I was doing something like playing Final Fantasy, that wouldn't be an issue, but when I'm trying to do puzzle games, it's extremely distracting. Anyway, that's okay. It happens. Whether I like it or not, life occurs around me. Are you back now, Doug, by the way? So anyway, fun fact, in the Philippines, they have this mythological beast called the Minokawa, and during an eclipse they believe that it's the Minokawa trying to eat the moon. So they do a little ritual festival where they bang on drums until the eclipse is over. They believe that it repels the Minokawa. Interesting. But I know a couple of different cultures have that. Like, I think it was the Chinese that believed that when the solar eclipse happened, it was a dragon eating the sun, and then the dragon had its head cut off by something. That's why the moon was dyed red after. Or was it the harvest moon? I think that it might have been the harvest moon. But yeah, something like that as well. Anyway, welcome back. Thank you for... Excuse me. Thank you for waiting until the ads were over. I think exactly the same thing, Nat. I think that's so cool. So I'm going to print this screen because this will probably be useful for something. There we go. Now, let's try and figure this out a little bit. Southward I see a swan, ashen like sands of the shore, carried by westerly winds, robed like the moon of the north. Eastward I see a crow, dark are the days coming forth. So I'm going to believe that this is an image puzzle clue for later on. Because I see a swan here, and I see a fragment of something. Oh, okay. I'm going to screen cap that as well, just in case, because I'm not sure what that piece of a broken plate would be, but I can't pick it up. And I can't seem to interact with these gears at all. So I can't mess with the time. Ooh, there's a black rook in the tower. Fun fact about China, Doug says. During the Chinese New Year, there's a lot of red because they have this mythological beast called Nianshou. It's a beast that lives in the water and that comes out on the New Year, and apparently the beast is scared of fireworks and red. So that's why there's a bunch of red and fireworks during the Chinese New Year's. Interesting. I didn't know that much of it, so that is news to me. Well, I think red is also considered a lucky color, but there's usually a reason behind that too. There's a rook in the clock tower. That picture that I just took is not the pendulum. Okay, never mind. We're fine. I'm actually curious about this too, because scrawled on the floor is this giant clock. And it seems to be pointing to like 1:30. I'll print that just in case. So something might happen at 1:30. I'm not sure what time it actually is, but the clock is up here, so let's have a look at this before we move. Oh, it's almost time for that. Alright, well, let's see if something happens. Okay, so it is 1:30 right now. Aha! Look at this. Something happened. I was right. I don't know what's going to happen. Hey, fancy door open. Alright, cool. Ha 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 ha! I know how to tell time. Let's get down there before it closes. Not that way, in this way. Here we go. There's an outer ring of the... Okay, that's interesting. Oh! All the clocks are frozen at 1:30 too. How interesting. Okay. Let's see here. Each of these clocks should be set to a different time. 5 of these clocks should be set to... God damn it, it's going to be a logic puzzle. 5 should be set to a time ending on the hour. Okay. So this one should be set to all the same numbers. So just so you guys are aware of why I said that, there have been notes around the mansion saying that all of these red notes are false, except for if they're handwritten. So, because this one says this clock should contain all different numbers, that means it should be all the same numbers. This clock's neighbor should both be set to a time containing a 7. Huh. Well, that's difficult. Because if this should have a 7, I can't have 777. What's this one? Oh, yeah, that's right, because there shouldn't be... There is no 77. I'm thinking too much in digital time as well. That is a good catch, Doug. Thank you. This clock should not be set on the hour, which means it should be. So you have to be at 7.
Thank you!
Hour hand... 4, 5, 6, 7. And this one should be on the hour. Good, okay. And this one should be 7:07.
Ooh.
7:07. I think, right? Should be all the same numbers. So that's the question, is should it be 7:07 or should it be 7:40? 35. It's either 7:35 or 7:07, and I'm not sure which. We'll come back to that one. None of these clocks should be set to times that contain the number 1, 2, 3, or 4. Okay, that's fine. No, sorry. Did I say 7:40? Yeah, so this one's 7:07 right now. That should be 7:35. I may have just messed that up when I was speaking. I'm doing my best, but there is construction going on outside my window. It's really throwing me off, and like it's aggravating. It is very aggravating. Here's the thing though, is it says we're working with time, right? Like on clocks. So containing the number 1, 2, 3, or 4 could also be including in the tens position, meaning 30, anything between 1 and 40 could be off the table, or anything between 10 and 49 could be off the table. Because I'm just not sure that is a digit of 1, 2, 3, or 4. This clock should be set to a time that contains the same 3 numbers of another clock here, but in reverse order. Okay. The clocks are positioned so that the times will go up in ascending order. Okay. No, this is a true number. Or this is a true message, Doug. It's not red. And this one is true as well, because it's handwritten. So the clocks are positioned so that their times will go up in ascending order. Okay. That's still a lot of options, though. Which means that this also can't be right. Because it's not saying if it's ascending order from the left or from the right. So I know logically, like the way we think, it should be from the left. Yeah, but it has to contain all the same numbers. This one is false. So remember, Doug, if it's handwritten, it's true on the red. Everything else is true, except these typed ones are false. So before anything else, I need to figure out this one, because the clocks are positioned so that their times will go up in ascending order. The question is it ascending from the right or ascending from the left? Because logically, we in the West tend to think of left to right as the correct order, which means this one would be lowest and this one would be highest. Or I guess the latest in the day, closest to 12. Now, assuming this one, no, that one. No! Assuming this one is right, where none of the clocks should be set to times that contain the number 1, 2, 3, or 4. I'm going to assume that specifically refers to the hour, which means there should be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's 8 digits and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 clocks. Okay, so there's 8 clocks, 8 digits. None of them should be set to an hour of 1, 2, 3, or 4. At least that's what I'm thinking of. Alright, see you soon, Doug. So I'm going to reset the minute hand here for the moment on all of these clocks so that we have a good starting point. That's also 7. So everything is zeroed out. And I'm going to assume that in ascending order means that from the left, this one would have to be at least 5. And 6. Oops. And 7. Which was what we had figured anyway. And then this one will be 8. And then this one will be 9. This one should be 10. 11. And this one should be 12. Okay. So I think this is right in that they're now all in ascending order. None of them starting at 1, 2, 3, or 4. Okay. So that eliminates this clue. And this one should not be on the hour. It should be on the hour. Okay, that one's fine. Oh, is it still raft? Oh, dang it. Thank you. Completely forgot to fix that part. This is blueprints. There we go. That doesn't change much because I remembered to change everything else, but it is good to not be thrown off like that. Thank you. Oh, it doesn't state that every clock should be on the hour, but the clue that I'm running with is that the clocks are positioned so their times will go up in ascending order. And then over, what's the one I'm looking at? None of these clocks should be set to times that contain the number 1, 2, 3, or 4. So, I just set them all to zeroed out for now, so we have a good starting point. But if none of them should contain 1 through 4, and there's exactly 8 clocks, then I figure each of these should be on a different hour in ascending time. So that's why I've set them all just to zeroed out, excluding 1 through 4. From left to right, using... God damn, this construction is so frustrating, breaking my train of thought. I just... Anyway, sorry. I'm trying to think, but the saw is making it very difficult to do so. This is why I try not to stream while it's going on outside. Like, honestly, you couldn't wait for an hour? Not a goddamn hour? It's okay. I'll try. I'll keep trying to figure this puzzle out first. It's just very frustrating. Okay, each of these clocks should be set to a different time. I've got that. They're all at a different time so far. 5 of these clocks should be set to a time ending on the hour. Okay. So that's also good because they're all set to on the hour right now. Set this clock to a time containing all different numbers. So it should be all the same numbers. This clock's neighbors should both be set to a time containing a 7. So assuming... Okay, so that's kind of a problem. So this one must be 7 p.m. on the dot, I guess. Right? This clock should not be set on the hour, but it should contain a 7. Maybe it is here as well. So we'll try and make this 9:07. Oops. 9:07. We'll start with that. Okay. Because 5 of them should end on the hour. And there are 8 clocks, which means at least these 2, the red ones, should be set to not on the hour times. which means this one and this one should both be not on the hour times, which means I need to figure out one more that's not. This clock should be set to a time that contains the same 3 numbers of another clock here, but in reverse order. Why is it the same 3 numbers? Okay. So if this is 11, and it has to be the inverse of something else, then maybe this should be 7-11. No, because that won't be right. Let's try and make this one 707. And then this one should not be set on the hour. 9. Oh, that's a problem. Should be set to a time containing a 7. That's kind of tough. Because this one should contain all the same numbers. Because I know which 3 can't be on the hour now. So it's this one, and it's this one. Which means all the others should be on the hour exactly. Which is fine. Assuming that they're 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Which is a reasonable assumption at this moment. Because they do need to be in ascending order. Then it's just these off-brand ones that I need to figure out. 1, 2, 3. Now this one should be set to a time that contains the same 3 numbers of another clock, but in reverse order. So this one is maybe not 11. Because if we're setting it to 11, then it would have 4 digits. So it has to be somewhere between 5 and 9. Give me 1 sec. I just need to mute for an instant here. Where are we going? Mute the mic. Sorry, I need to take a little, 2-minute break. I'm going to run an ad, and I will be right back. I do apologize for the interruption. I will see you in a few minutes. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Alright. Thank you very much. Again, I am sorry for that delay. Alright. So, where were we? I'd still figured out these 3 clocks need to be not on the hour. This one has to be somewhere between 9 and 11, or 9 and 5. So I'm going to adjust this to be 9. Because that has to be a 3-digit inverse of another clock in reverse order. Which means this one in ascending order should be anywhere between 10 and 12. But I'm going to make this one 10 just so that it's on my mind. Let's see here. Which means this one should not be 10. It has to be lower than 9. So this will have to be an 8 o'clock at best. Okay. And then these two have to be not those numbers, and one of them has to end in a 9. Should both be set to a time containing a 7. And this one should be... Oh, I was wrong. This one should be on the hour. Which means that this one here should be 7 on the hour. Okay, so 7 on the hour, 8 on the hour, 9 on the hour. Okay. Which means that this clock should be set to a time containing all the same numbers, and it should contain a 7. And it should be in reverse order of this. So if I do like 7:59, then I can make this one 9:57. And that will work because these two are not on the hour, and it is an exact inverse. Which means one of them still needs to be slightly different. It shouldn't be on the hour. And I'm not sure which one it is. Because I know that they have to go up. The earliest it can be is 5, because none of them should be 1 to 4. And I can assume that this one, and not that one, that one and that one are two of the clocks that have to be not on the hour times. Which one needs to be the third that's not on the hour? I mean, this is 7:59. This one's 8. Well, this one would have to be different. Okay, so I need to change these a little bit because they're not fitting. So this one would have to be between 8, 9, 10. Let's put this up to 9. Let's put this one up to 10. Which does leave me with a problem in that this one is now out of chronological order. Because it would have to be only 3 digits. So let's assume that they're not all starting on the hour here. If this one could be 9 at most, then this one could be 8 at most, and this one could be 7 at most. Six, 5, 4. 5, 6, 7:59. So what if I made this one 6:59 instead? Oops. 6:59 should contain a 7 though. So let's make this one 6:57 instead. Okay. But that would make this one 7:56. Or 7:59. Which doesn't fit in here either. Seven would have to be the last digit. I think. Because... no, maybe that one should be the first digit. Let's try that instead. So let's make this one 7. We're going to correct you to 0, 0 for now. If I make this one 8, 9... 10. Yeah, puzzles are tough. I know that's specifically why Waylord likes seeing me do games like this, though, because I have to talk through my process, so he gets to know exactly what's in my mind about it. And I think Clarissa would probably enjoy this as well, but I haven't seen her for a while. She's busy. She's got a family. Hey, Conop, welcome back. Well, that's nice. I'm glad you got to spend some time with your mom. You have missed not much, except for my raging at construction outside. I agree. Hopefully this is not too hard on Nat, and hopefully it's not too boring for you guys watching me try and figure this out. Because if I can do that, then this one would have to be... it would have to end on a 7. Which is okay. 7:59, if I put that there. 6, 7... let's try 7:59. And then this one should be 9:57. Yeah, that's fine. This one should be 8. No, because that one's 9. That's right. That's a problem for me. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I suppose if I instead made this one 11, but it should also contain all the same numbers. That's right. So 6, 7, 77, 5. What if I made this one 555 then? No, because it should contain all different numbers, which means it should be all the same numbers. This one should both be set to a time containing A7, which means this one has to be something with 7s. I mean, that's pretty obvious, but I can't do 777 because that doesn't make any sense. Which means it can't be 707 either, because that would put that clock out of order chronologically. I mean, I suppose that it doesn't have to be chronologically out of order from this clock. So... the hard part is this same, right? Like, is it supposed to be 707 or is it supposed to be 735? How can it be all the same numbers and a 7 at the same time? That's the part that's throwing me off. Set this clock to a time containing all the same numbers. This clock's neighbors should both be set to a time containing a 7. So I know that this one therefore has to be at a 7. The question is it that 7 or that 7? And I don't know. Is this really the tutorial? This can't be the tutorial, Waylord. Don't you lie to me. Don't you tell me this. I don't like this. Yeah, this is the problem, right? This is the thing that's really going to screw me over. This is the part that's frustrating me, is the clock face has a 7 on it, a number 7, but time in 10-minute increments also has 7s on every single digit. So there's just not enough for me to go on right now to know if they want me to go by clock face 7 or by time 7. And that's going to drive me up the wall. I don't know. And I'm very scared by your statement, Waylord. I don't know what it is, but I am scared of it. Different time. 5 of these clocks should be set to a time ending on the hour. That's fine. They have to be chronological, starting no later than 5, or no earlier than 5. Right? I'm gonna look up just in case. There's no other information like written or hidden around. Okay, well, that'll be a while because I'm still figuring out puzzles to get there and I'm not getting the RNG that I need. Times go up in ascending order. Okay, that's fine. None of these clocks should be set to times that contain the number 1, 2, 3, or 4. It's fine. This clock should be set to a time that contains the same 3 numbers of another clock, but in reverse order. So let's... let's maybe assume that this one can't be 7 as an hour. So that it has to end on a 7 over here. All should contain the same numbers. And should contain a 7. Which means this clock must be 777. What the hell does that mean? These two are so contradictory that I can't make it work in my head. Logically, it just doesn't make sense, and it's driving me freaking nuts. The neighbors should both be set to a time containing a 7. Okay, this is a lie because it's typed out. It should be set to a time containing all the same numbers. Is there any other way to interpret this that would make it a lie? Let's maybe look at it that way instead. So rather than the time containing all different numbers, it could be containing some different numbers. Or it could be that the clock shouldn't be set to a time containing all different numbers. Okay, so yeah, that's what I'm thinking, is I'm trying to think around the problem so that it's not the opposite. But it's hard to see where else the lie would be. The numbers cannot be different. Well, like, I understand that, but I'm still kind of screwed over, because if the numbers can't be different, then they must all be the same, right? I don't think that's a logical fallacy. I think that's right. If the numbers can't be different, then the numbers must all be the same. Well, how else would you guys interpret that then? Because I'm missing something here. I must be. If the numbers aren't different, then the numbers are the same. At least in my mind. I can't think my way around that. Not all numbers must be different. Okay, so set this clock to a time containing some different numbers. Okay. So I was thinking about it wrong, and that's fair. If it's not different numbers, that's the lie in here, then it's all numbers that's different. Okay, that's fine then. I can live with that. So there must be at least one duplicate. But it doesn't have to be exactly the same for all numbers. And the statement to the right is true, that there should be a time containing a 7. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the 7 that's duplicated. So it could be like 755, for example, which wouldn't really work. But what if it was 711, and then the no, because that would still be over the 3 digits. 9 would be the highest I could go. So let's assume that it's 7 something 9. But I can't do 799 because that would be weird and wrong. Which means the highest it could theoretically go, if this was the counter, would be 6, which doesn't make sense chronologically. So we're going to say that this one is not the one that's supposed to be mirrored on the other clock. This one should be set on the hour. This one doesn't really matter. At least it doesn't specify that. Okay. None of these clocks should be set to times that contain the number 1, 2, 3, 4. That's fine. I understand that. Well, I kind of understand that because I'm still wondering if that includes the digits on the end or just the face numbers. Because that's going to be the other part that's really going to throw me. If it's they shouldn't contain 1 through 4, then does that mean anything from here to here is completely off, including with the minute hand? I don't know. This one is... I'm a copy from Community for a moment. This is wrinkling my brain. I just feel like I don't have enough information to solve this. Like... And it's not that I don't have enough information to solve it. Let me change that. I don't have enough strict regulations or clarification to solve it for the way my mind works. It's so open-ended as to what some of these clues could mean that it's frustrating, right? Because there's no indication on this clue of which part of it is the lie, which I can live with. That's fine. But the fact that this one is the truth, but it doesn't specify that, is just driving me nuts. This clock should be set to a time that contains the same 3 numbers of another clock, but in reverse order. So I do know that this one and this one both need to be not on the hour. Which means I can probably help myself out if I figure out which other clock doesn't need to be on the hour. Sorry, what are you asking why to, Waylord? Were you asking Nat why your husband would like it, or were you asking about my deduction? Well, it says... where is it? 5 of these clocks should be set to a time ending on the hour. That's why it should be on the hour, right? You say basically only one of them needs to be on the hour, but this one says 5 of them needs to be on the hour. Yeah. So 5 of them do need to be on the hour. And there's 8 clocks here, which means 3 of them need to be not on the hour. And I know 2 of them, which are this one and this one, need to be not on the hour. Actually, maybe this one could be on the, or not on the hour. Yeah, I know both of these need to be not on the hour, which means one more of them, if I can deduce which one, also needs to not be on the hour. And that should help me out, because it'll give me a time frame for the other ones to be zeroed out. And I can't tell which one that's supposed to be. Set to a different time, ending in an hour, some different numbers. This clock's neighbor should be set to a time containing 7. So both of these need to be 7. If we're going to assume that this one should be on the hour ending on a 7, right? Okay. So this one has to be 7. Okay. Which means these all need to be less than 7. And greater than 5. Which means 3 of these should be... Yeah, it must be back here that all 3 of them are the ones that don't need to be on the hour. It must be. Like, it absolutely has to be. I think. Because 5 and 7 are here, which means these 3 need to be on off times between 5 and 7. Because the only solid hour in between is 6. Which means that these have to be somewhere higher than that. So if I can make this one 8, and this one, which should be a duplicate in reverse order, this one should be 9. And then this one should be 10. Well, it could be like 10, 11, or 12. But if we're going to assume that the times include something between midnight and 1, which isn't 1 a.m. Because it wouldn't have 1 on the face at that point. The only question is, does the hour hand count? Because setting it to 9 anywhere would be in the 2 zone. So maybe if I make this one instead 12... Nope, that wouldn't work. Because if they're only doing it by face clock, then 12 would be the highest number. It would have to be on the far side if it was going to be used. But I don't know why I'm so fixated on this one being a mirror of these. Because it could be a 3-digit number. Could even be a 4-digit number in reverse order. So I can't get 009, right? Like, that's not going to work. But if I'm doing that, then those first 3 don't necessarily have to match. Because this would be one of the ones that's out of order. And the other clock that has to have some of the same numbers would also have to be out of order. Which means one more also needs to be out of order still. And I'm still at the same position of logical deduction. And it's driving me nuts. I hate this puzzle. My brain hurts. This one is not going to be a different number. Yeah, get good. I get it, Waylord. You butt. Why does it seem like every time you taunt me, I get angry and then I figure it out because I'm angry and not thinking so hard? Yeah, you butt. Less puzzles, more pizzas. I feel like Conop gave me a clue. More gray matter. I don't want to be the Gray Ranger. I want to be the White Ranger. Ugh, you dork ass. Rude. Okay. I actually need a piece of paper. I have this and I have a pencil. Okay, this'll do. This is good enough. Ow. Okay, I have, just so you're aware, I have torn a strip off of my takeout bag with which to take notes on. So currently I am going to be sketching things out on a mustard-stained piece of a Burger King takeout bag. Because that's what I have close to me. And I figured you guys would like to know that. Right? Yeah. I should have just... Okay, I need stuff out of the way. Stupid desk. What I should have done is actually looked for a pad of paper, but I don't have that. So, 7 clocks. 8 clocks. Oh, I don't have anything to write on. A hardcover book. That'll do. 1 sec. I don't have any ketchup packets, but I do have a pencil. So I'm going to use the pencil and this scrap of paper and a book that I have to grab from my bookshelf behind me. 1 moment. I gotta reach. Okay, here we go. There, I made it work. I didn't have to get up and I made it work. Pencil. Okay. Okay. So, 7 clocks. 1. Oops. I think I snapped the pencil lid out of that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So 7 clocks. The range has to be between 5 and 12. Because they can't be anything 1 through 4. Oops. At least, I'm going to assume that means the hours can't be 1 and 4, right? Yes, that's what I'm going to say. That's what we're rolling with for now. They should be set to a different time. 5 of these clocks should be on the hour. And I know that this 3rd clock can't be one of them. So 3rd clock will fill in. That's fine. This clock's neighbor should both be set to a time containing a 7. But this one doesn't necessarily have to be 7 on the hour. So this one is a maybe? Is that just not cheering for me? No, it's Sailing. Hi, Sailing. How you doing? Sorry, you have caught me in the middle of a very difficult puzzle that I'm struggling through. How you doing? So this one is a maybe on that. I'm going to put you as a question mark. So, I'm doing okay. There have been frustrating things in real life this morning, and now this puzzle is driving me absolutely up the wall, batshit insane. But I'm glad to hear you're doing well. Just to catch you up, we're currently working on a puzzle with clocks in a room that I had to be in when the actual time matched this one scribed on the floor, because we're in a clock tower, which opened this secret room. And now I'm trying to solve this logic puzzle that is really frustrating using these clues. So, the clues are that each of these clocks should be set to a different time. There's 8 of them total, by the way. 5 of these clocks should be set to a time ending on the hour. This clock's neighbors should both be set to a time containing a 7. None of these clocks should be set to times that contain the number 1, 2, 3, or 4. If I assume that also includes there. Yes, do it like a spirit ball. Do it like a spirit ball! This clock should be set to a time that contains the same 3 numbers on another clock here, but in reverse order. Okay, so I'm going to assume that by contains the number 1, 2, 3, or 4, that includes the time on the end. Well, make sure you save enough to function sailing. Okay, I'm going to assume that that includes the minute. I don't know about the tens minute, though. The clocks are positioned so their times will go up in ascending order. Yeah, me too. It better be a permanent upgrade or a clue or something. Maybe a red note. That'd be nice. If it's like 2 extra allowance coins, I'm going to be kind of annoyed. Set to a different time. If we start at 5, and that one's 6. Yeah, I'm gonna cry if that's the case. Be like, your time is up. Okay, so just because these two have to have a 7 in them doesn't mean that this one can't be a 7. 8, 9, except that it wouldn't be that, because this one also has to be not... Most likely, it has to be one that's not reversed. So we're going to color this one in as well. 3, 6, 7. Oh, wrong one. Dang it. Okay, so this one has to be colored in. I'm going to assume that this one that I'm looking at is also still not an even time, because it has to be a reversal of something else. And since there are no 0 zeros, it can't be like midnight. So it has to be an off number of another clock in the room, but reversed. And I think that's correct. I think that logic works. Now the question is, I think it's between these two as to which one should be the third clock then that needs to not be on the hour. So both of them need to contain a 7, but that doesn't necessarily mean that this one has to be on 7 a.m. period. It would kind of have to be, though. Because this one, I guess theoretically could be 7. That would be 7:35. And then that could be something else. And that could be something ending in a 7. Nope. because this one has to be an even number. Yeah. So I think realistically this one should be 5 still. I think this one should be 6 next to it. I think that's reasonable. Do you have any plans for today, by the way, Sailing? I'm trying to be interesting and talk to you guys at the same time that I'm trying to figure this out. And it's giving me a nice little break having to have a conversation. So 5, 6. If we assume that this one is not 7:35. Uncle Duties, nice. Is it actually the weekend already? Well, no, not yet. It's Wednesday. Nothing in particular. Just streaming as usual, or trying to. The construction outside my place has finally stopped. So as long as I can get decent sleep at night, I should be able to function. And Nat has started playing Outer Wilds on Tuesday and Thursday, so I am enjoying watching that. She did the first episode yesterday. 5, 6. And this one does need to have 2 of the same numbers. Or it should contain some different numbers because these typed out red envelopes are in reverse. And it must contain a 7, which means either it could be the last digit or the first digit needs to be a 7. And I think it would be the first digit to give me the most I can over here. So if I do 7, I can't do 799, which means that that one at the end can't be there. So this must be the last digit is a 7 then. It must be. So we're going to do blank, blank, 7. I mean, it's not necessarily that this one has to mirror this one either, though, right? Has to be here, but in reverse order. So it could be mirroring the other one, which could be this one. No, because this one does have to be set on the hour. I think, because that would be the lie of this one, right? This one would have to be opposite. This clock should not be set on the hour, which would be, should be set on the hour. I think. That sounds logical to me. Doesn't that sound logical to you? I think that sounds logical. So this one is not the question mark. It's this one. That sounds logical. So I'm going to roll with that. Meaning this one should be 7 a.m. Which means it's these two that need to be different. This one has to be higher and not a 0. And this one should be containing some different numbers. Which means this one has to be 8. This one has to be 9. And this one could be anywhere between 10 and 12. But this one doesn't necessarily have to be that kind of opposite. No, because there is no 00 on any of the clocks, so it does have to be a reverse of 3 numbers. The same 3 numbers of another clock, but in reverse order. Which means it could only be one of these two. Five, 6. So that one can't be 667. Couldn't be 887. Can't be 77. But it must have the first and last digit. I'm thinking it must be 7 something 7. But if I can make this one different, then it could also be... Wait, hold on. No, these two have to be 6. If this one has to have 7 as a number and it has to be on the hour, then these two need to both be 6 something. But how does that... Oh, I hate this puzzle. Because here's the problem, right? These two should be on the hour. They can't be 1 through 4, which means they must be 5 and 6. This clock has neighbors that both contain a 7. Which means this one has to be 7 on the hour. So these two should be in between. Which means they should both be after 6, but before 7. And it has to be able to be mirrored on that one over there. The same 3 digits. But if this one needs to have duplicate numbers, then either the 6 or the 7 has to be duplicated. Unless maybe it's this one that's supposed to be not on the hour. This one is. I suppose that would work too. So this one doesn't necessarily have to be 6. Right? Yeah. I could have been thinking myself into a corner with that. So if this one doesn't necessarily have to be 6, then this one could be on the hour, but that one would be 7, so that would have to be 6 here. Meaning that these two would have to be somewhere in the 5 range. No, that still doesn't work, because if I'm mirroring it, it doesn't have to be this one that's mirrored. It doesn't. It could be this one that's mirrored. 7, 8, 9. This one doesn't necessarily have to be a 0. Okay, so if I run with the assumption that this one doesn't have to be a 0, then this one could be 5 something in between. This one just has to have the 7s somewhere in there. And this one has to be 7. This one can be 6. This one needs to end in a 9. 905 maybe? I mean, that would work. Because I could make this one 509. Minute hand. Minute hand? There we go, 509. Okay. So 509 and 905 is the same three numbers in reverse order. This one has 2 sevens, so the time contains different numbers. And they both contain a 7. So this one should be... maybe it's 557? Because that would be containing a 7 with 2 of the same numbers. They're still in chronological order. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But apparently that wasn't right. Which is now frustrating because I'm pretty sure all of these clues are correct and accurate. Right? I'm not crazy. I'm pretty sure that meets all the criteria. I don't know. I have the right answer, but it's not the right answer, and that's freaking annoying. Okay, Waylord, I give up. I need a hint. But I don't get it. All the clocks are set to a different time. All the clocks are in ascending chronological order. Yeah, well, I guess so. You've completed the game, isn't that right? Did you not do this puzzle? The clock should be set to a time that contains the same three numbers of another clock. The third one isn't ascending? What? Yeah, it is 509, 557. That's ascending. Between 509 and 6, 557 is ascending order. No, I can't have anything that has a 4 in it. So maybe the other answer is that it can't be here? Because if I have to just completely ignore this section of time, then I would need to reverse that. So 509, 905. But I can still reverse that, I think. So long as it's not like a 1 through 4. So maybe I need to just completely avoid this section here. Like everything between the 1 and the 4 on the clock face. Which means this one would be the problem. Or this one would be the problem. So if it's not 509... Huh. It's tough. It feels like there's just not enough information to go on. 509. It has to be an inverse with the same digits. So it has to be a 3-digit number. If I appreciate the hint, or I appreciate this moral support. I think this one's okay. Because I do have one 2, 3, 4, 5 clocks on the 00. So that's right. Which means I'm pretty sure it is all of these two. Well, so... Okay, before you do that, Waylord, let me give you my assumption first, and you can tell me if I'm right in that. I think this one and this one are wrong. I think that's my assumption, and I'm not sure how to change that. Because if I up the hour hand... I feel like I'm so close, but I'm missing a crucial piece of information or a crucial piece of logic, and I'm not sure where, why, or how. What if I did 9 549? No, 550. Maybe 549, which would be 945, and would completely dodge most of those. Let me try that before I do anything else. So 945. Okay, that was also not it. But that's still an ascending order. That... Oh, there is not enough information to go on. Okay, let's go with Waylord's hint first. Can you tell me which ones are right and which ones are wrong? I have to be in a tower. Well, no, okay, already there. Because that's what opened this door. I was here at 1:30, which opened this hidden door in the wall. So I know that. I'm already past that part. Yeah, that one's already done. Yep, no, I appreciate you. Okay, so can you point me to which ones are incorrect, Waylord? Because I think most of them are correct, but if you tell me that I've got a bunch of them wrong, I don't know what I'm going to do. The 2nd, the 7th, and the 8th. Okay, so I was right. It is this one and this one, and that's going to determine which one this one is. I'm actually not surprised, because those are the ones that I'm struggling with. Because this one has an option of up to 3 hours that it could be, and it's just these two that are the problem, because they need to inverse each other. And I'd figured that out, but the problem is this should be a perfectly fine inversion of exactly 3 numbers. Because it has to be below 10. That is a super dick mood, Waylord move. I know that's not you that did it, but that is a super dick move on the part of this game. How dare they actually make it a digit of 1? How dare they make it a 1 digit instead of the clock face number? How dare they? This is so rude. Oh my goodness. I want to stab someone in the temple for this. What the hell? Somebody's hand needs to get smashed in a cupboard door. I don't care. Well, yes, but it contained the number 1, 2, 3, or 4. That It doesn't include the numeral that should only include this section of the clock. Fine. If you're 9 then, that means these have to be 8s. Fine. 548, not 549. No, it contains the numeral 1. That's different. It's a numeral 1. That's all I'm saying. It's rude. 548, not 549. 548. Which means this one should be 845. Okay, so this is still not right, and I'm not sure why now. So 548, 557, 6, 7, 8, 845, and 9. Yes, but saying the number 1 is a dick move. That's all I'm getting at. Did I inverse these wrong? 548, 845? That should be right. Okay, so now something is still wrong, and I'm not sure what. Yeah, that was so rude. That was so rude of them. Oh, because this one has a 4 in it, right? Okay, that's why. So 5... Can't be 558. That one has the number 4 in it as well. So 5... Or maybe it is 558. Or 850... Wait, hold on. 558 would be 855. But that's higher than that, so I can't do that. 556, maybe? No. Because that one should be 9, so it should end on an 8. Can't be a 1, 2, 3, or 4, so 558. But that can't be right then. Oh, no, I've still hit an impasse then. Because this one should be 557. 858. Because this one should be an 8 somewhere in here. And it should be 5. But it can't be... Maybe it's 08? Might be 508. Let's try that. 508. Which would then be 805. Okay. I got it. I did it. A sanctum key. That was the most annoying puzzle. Oh my goodness. Oh! Why would they do that? I am so annoyed at the fact that they didn't have good stipulations on that number, on the fact that they said number and not numeral, because that's different. Yes, that very much so. That is incredibly frustrating. Okay, what can we do here? Can I even continue? There's a way I can go through the foundation. Have I even done the sanctum? Okay, but here's my issue, Waylord. Is if it had said the numeral 1, then I would have related it to 10 o'clock, right? Because the numeral of 1 is the digit that we use to count. But because the clock face used Roman numerals instead, then 10 is X. It technically doesn't contain a 1. And because they didn't stipulate which would be correct in that scenario, I didn't have the information to go on. And that's what was screwing me over. Like, it just wasn't specific as to which digits were supposed to count. Give me that gold. The wording matters, and that one threw me the hell off. Let's see here. Library, utility closet. Let's got the breaker box, which I don't need. I can't draft anything in the library, but there was a book I could read. That's right. Okay. So let's have a look in here. The pump system. How many pages is it? Okay, not a lot. I'm going to print these screens because I'm going to need them. Oh! I'm going to print this screen, actually, because this was not taken out by the same person this time. That might be due to your translation then, because as far as I remember, the numbers that we use in English are based on Arabic numerals. Yeah, I did make it. It was frustrating, but sometimes I'm dumb, okay? I tried. We're going to print this, so if I ever get to the pump room, I can have these clues handy. Man, that was frustrating. Holy crap. Sorry, that cough was probably loud. Alright. Alright, we'll leave that one there. I don't think there's anything else in here I need to do right now, so we're going to go back out this way, and hopefully I don't dead end at the foundation after finally getting the sanctum key, because if I ever have to do that puzzle again, I'm going to scream. I have dead ended. I dead ended. Oh my god, I hate my life. I hate this. What? I dead ended. Why? I hate myself sometimes. Okay, we're calling that a day. I think we've done 2 days. I've been on for 2.5 hours. I'm going to cry if I continue at this point. So we'll just pick this up tomorrow. Thank you for watching. I'm losing my freaking mind here. I need to go kick a puppy or something. I'm not going to kick a puppy. That was just an expression. Thank you for sitting with me while I suffered through that. At least we did it. At least we did it. Thank you very much, Waylord, for clarifying my misunderstanding. That was very helpful. I'm gonna save and quit. Let me see about getting a raid going, because there's enough of you that will be helpful for someone today. It's muted. Let's see. You guys like scary stuff, right? Because Mari's doing Phasmophobia, Jack's doing something called Suck Up. I don't know what that is. Calling it will get Blueprints Part 30 at least, or else you would stop it. That's fair, but Waylord, I don't think I will stop it because this game does seem to have an end. It's not a perpetual thing. Okay, so do you guys want to go watch Suck Up for whatever that is, or do you want to join Mari for Phasmophobia? I know some of you will probably go to bed, but I mean, we can include the raid anyway. It's just up to you. That's okay with Phasmo. Anybody else have opinions on it? Alright, well, that's 2 for Phasmo. I think Mari's already in the room, so her vote won't count. She's already doing it. Alright, Mari it is. Say hi to her for me, because as soon as I drop you off, I am leaving, because I don't like the scary things. Mari Stellar. Alright. And with that, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you very much for joining, and see you next time.